You
So
guys, everybody come out healthy, or
Yeah, I think we're pretty healthy.
are you getting anybody back?
Hope to get everybody back,
Oh, great.
but I don't know 100%. But you know, we ended up we didn't have 5 starters out there, and then Matt got hurt during the game, so we're real hopeful to be full go by conference play. But you never know 100%. So we'll see.
who were the five? So it was Coyote, Cedric, Noah, Connor, and I.
Coyote,
Huh?
Sully,
I see.
Cedric, Noah, and Connor.
I see.
And
Okay.
then Matt got hurt on the 18th play, so we really played most of the whole game without 6 starters. So that makes you even more proud of our players on
Right.
how they played. Guys stepped up and overcame it. Darius went in at offensive guard, did a great job. Combination of Jalen and Sully Jalen and Kyle Perry did a really good job at linebacker. Combination of Hoover and Chris did a good job at corners. A whole bunch of guys stepped up, did a really good job. It was good to have Bay back. That gave us another big guy inside. So, yeah, guys just stepped up, played hard.
Northern's not having a very good year, but I doubt you're at the point yet where you guys can just roll the helmets out and expect to win. So what do they do well, and what do you have to do?
You know, you watch them and they play people tough, especially early. Like I was hoping, you know, like at the Sac State score was really bad, but you watch that game, there's 5 minutes left to go in the half, it's 7-0. You know, it's the end of the first quarter against Washington State, and it's a freaking tight game. They played San Jose State tough the whole game, and they go down and beat Arkansas. So they're tough. They've been playing good defense, honestly. They've played pretty good defense. Their offense has struggled at times, put their defense in some bad situations. But game in and game out, they've played some good football on the defensive side of the ball. They got some big, tall, long guys up front in the D line. Their corners are long. Their safeties are good tacklers. They've played a couple different guys at linebacker who they play with really good effort. So defensively, they played pretty good. Offensively, they got a good running back. He was a transfer from Wyoming. He runs hard. He has good balance. He makes good cuts. He ran the ball well against Washington State, especially early in the game. So they do some good things. We just got to be really ready to play and most importantly, get better today at practice.
I know they got a big arm quarterback, but they prefer to keep it on the ground, right? Or are they pretty balanced in there?
They try to do both. You know, they try to do both. A lot of that, I think, sometimes is determined by how well their offensive line is protecting. But they've probably ran more. That running back's pretty good. They've done a good job running the ball most games.
Do they run standard stuff, or are you going to see things that you're only going to see against them this
No,
year?
it's pretty this day and age football. You know, probably definitely got to be ready for them to get in, 4 wides and try to run the ball that way, try to throw the ball that way. That's definitely something I would expect them to do against us early.
Are you familiar with any of the coaching styles on their staff? Are they pretty new?
The defensive coordinator we coached against in the bowl game, so he was at Colorado State in the bowl game. So familiar with him. Mike Armour is a guy on their staff that when we first got to Louisville, he was on the staff there before, so I kind of worked with him for about 6 months. Kind of when guys work together back and forth. Those would be the 2 guys that I know on the staff.
What's the tone of your team going into this week?
I think very confident, very excited. I think we're coming together closer and closer. I think it's a really close unit that cares about each other. A bunch of good teammates. I think that's probably one of the most important things, when you get everybody to be good teammates and play hard for each other. Not worry about themselves, not worry about individual stats or honors or any of that stuff. Just worry about the team. Worry about the team getting better. And so I really look forward to today's practice and going out there and having a great practice.
Is there some kind of maybe motto, or what do you preach to find that balance between like overconfidence, confidence, just to keep it a little bit under?
Yeah, I think we got a long ways to go before we ever should be overconfident. You know, we still got a lot of things we got to improve on. I think Sunday coming in and watching the game, there was a bunch of things we did great, but then there's also things we can improve on and get better. So I think a lot of that comes from internal leadership. Our guys have been doing a good job of leading amongst the players, and so we just go out to work every day, go to practice every day, and worry about the process of getting better each week and getting better every single day in practice.
It might not be a great measure, but in terms of kind of building a foundation for the rest of this year, how important is it for you guys to go out and get a road win?
Real important. That's the first thing I mentioned on Sunday night. You know, we're 6-1 at home right now in the last 2 years. We got to go get a conference road win. We got to go get a road win, period. So I think, you brought that up. It's the first thing I brought up with our players on Sunday night. You know, we got to go. We want to be champions. If you want to get to the playoffs, we got to win on the road. So that's very, very important. We got to go get a win on the road.
I would say you don't want people to kind of like play off all the honors or like individual stats, but Econo
It's
with
awesome.
with
no,
all,
it's still
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
No, I think it's great when they get it, and he deserved it. And Trey could have probably been co-defensive player of the conference with him or the country with him. But Charles and Trey played awesome. Man, they just played with unbelievable effort. They plays all over the place. They just did a really good job. Christian had a good game too. A lot, you could go down the list, everybody, but Charles, that stat line's pretty impressive. And then when you watch it on tape, it was really impressive, and so was Trey's.
How much just has Charles improved over the last year? Are there some specific things that you've seen him really hone?
He's always, like, you watch him in the weight room, Charles is very strong, very explosive. I just think he's gotten better and better the last 2 years, probably week by week, on his technique, on his understanding of football. Out of high school, he hadn't played a whole lot of football, and so I think the longer he plays, the better and better he's going to get. So the more he gets used to playing football, the better a football player is going to be. He's always been an unbelievable athlete, so it's really good to see how much better he's playing, because he's put in a lot of hard work. He's a hard worker. You watch him work in the weight room and watch him work in practice. He works hard, so he's continued to improve.
And with Cottrell, kind of getting on the board, having that sort of breakout, is that more of a testament to just how well Jeff's been playing, or is Cottrell's maybe his duties changed as he's like more of a blocking guy now, or has he been open, just Jeff's been kind of more open, I guess?
Yeah, I think it just kind of comes down to sometimes game plan and sometimes how the defense plays. Cottrell's playing a new position at times. We move him around, but a lot of the times he's playing inside where he played outside all the time last year. So I think he's just going to get better. But by far, all around, whole game, blocking, effort, toughness, that's the best game Cottrell's played. He had a game last year where he had 3 touchdown catches, but just his effort, like Mason's long touchdown run, that was Cottrell and Jeff blocking unbelievable out on the perimeter. That doesn't happen. There was second play of the game, Cottrell just knocks their corner from me to you. He was physical. He was having fun doing it. That makes it even better.
As good as your skill guys were, from my perspective, the most impressive thing in the Eastern game was the way your offensive line was blocking people off their feet and the way your defensive line was pressuring in the first half.
No question. And I think that's how you win games. The skill guys get talked about the most, but it's the O-line and D-line is where you win games. That's what at the very beginning of the year I said that was one of the things I was excited about, is we had more experience coming back in our O-line since the bowl year. And they played really well, and if you really look at it, we played most of the game without 2 starters. You didn't have Connor and you didn't have Matt, so that makes it even more impressive that we have the depth now. We have enough guys that can play it and keep getting it done. So yeah, I would say the O-line and D-line would be the players of the game. Yeah, both sides of the ball, they did a great job.
How's Logan looking at center? Any thoughts of maybe kind of sticking with that configuration, having Connor at guard, or is Connor?
Yeah, we did that
Okay.
in fall camp, actually. We had 2 different groups so that we've done that. We've done Logan at center and Connor at guard. So that's definitely something that could happen. And just because Logan can play different spots and Connor can play different spots, and Tillette played some center last year. So it gives you multiple groups that you can make sure you just got your 5 best guys in there, not necessarily just the next backup to that position. So that makes it a lot nicer.
But Connor is kind of the go-to center, though.
That would be something we'll just keep looking at. Yeah, it could be him, or it'll just be some of that'll be the health of everybody else. It would just be whatever way we can get our 5 best guys on the field, and that's how we'll do it.
It seemed like in the second half, when Eastern was having some success, it was because they were going to those no-drop throws. Everything was quick. And Christian said after the game that they were kind of ahead of the defensive calls a little bit. Is that an easy thing to fix for? Because I'm sure people are going to try to do that again.
No, for sure. I think the first series, the headsets went down, and our communication was late, for sure. After the first series, I don't really think the calls were that late. I just think we gotta get lined up quicker and play faster and make sure that we continue to play with the same enthusiasm and effort and communication that we played the whole first half. The first drive of the second half, yeah, there was a couple plays because of the craziness going on the sideline with the headsets being down. That was a little bit different.
And is that a fairly easy fix? Is that
Yeah,
something?
it should be, yep, but we gotta get it fixed. So it's easy to say to get it fixed, but we gotta make sure it gets fixed.
So you saw a lot of good, and then some main takeaways on the other side that you kind of got to fine tune. Is that kind of the main one right there?
Yeah, that'd be one of them,
Okay.
you know, and then there was a few times in the second half where our communication and our alignments weren't necessarily as well as, we didn't execute it as well as we did early in the game, and that's just something we gotta keep working on.
Any big changes in the depth chart this week yet or not?
Not yet, you know, some of that'll be hopefully getting all those guys back, that could change up some people. And then you just go practice, you know, I'm still a guy that believes in my eyes. I tell the players every week, the film is your resume. So what I see all week long in practice, that's still what I'm gonna trust. So that depth chart can change sometimes just by the week of practice of who practices the best in practice.
And with Jeff, I mean, we knew his potential in 2018, but now it seems like he's just a matchup nightmare every time he goes out there. Is there something like key that he's developed in that aspect where he's just kind of burning these guys now?
You know, he's developed a little bit of everything. You know, he's really improved his footwork at the line of scrimmage. He's improved his strength and his speed. And then you guys come to practice. He works his tail off in practice. Like, he's relentless.
Yeah, do you have to kind of get him to lift up off the pedal a little bit so he's gonna be available by the end of the year or not?
Well, his reps in practice have been limited a little bit because he's gonna go 100 miles an hour. He won't jump in there every time. So
Yeah.
if you notice, sometimes I pull him out of there. So I have on the whole script what plays he's in practice. So yes, I do have to hold him back from himself. So make sure his legs are fresh on Saturday. I started doing that 2 weeks ago, actually. So he only takes a certain amount of reps in practice.
Is Andre gonna be fully back or kinda back or?
I think
how
he'll be
is-
fully back. Yep, I think Andre's gonna be good.
Yeah, and Andre just throwing people off of him all game. Is that?
It's fun. It's awesome to watch. You know, that first touchdown was awesome because he gets hit, the line of scrimmage. He keeps running hard. All the old linemen and tight ends keep pushing him, and that just kind of showed you what team was playing more physical right off the bat. That play right there, and then it just kind of went the whole time. Like, he's just running hard. He's running with great pad level and toughness and confidence in himself that one guy's not going to take him down.
Pete, anything else?
I'm good.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, guys. Have a good
Thank
day.
you. You too.